Hello, travelers. Welcome back to the next episode of Severance. And also, apparently, welcome back to the next episode of MovieMan. Obviously, that's not Helly. That's not Helly. That's Helena. That's Helena Egan right there. Over here. Oh, it's not Helly at all. That was Helena for sure. I remember when Helly didn't act like Helly at all. Look, I understand, all right? My justification, as soon as I saw the comments come in, I was like, oh, what? Like, how did I miss this? Like, what could I possibly... My justification for not reading too much into it was that this is an excuse. I'll admit it's an excuse. I didn't even... That theory of Helena Egan being a mole didn't even cross my mind because, again, somebody said it best up here. I think it's Sledge, right? Sledge said, her long-standing dehumanization of innies, which I just assumed she was so, like, there's a split that's so hard there. I would imagine that Helena Egan would be like, oh, why would I want to go down there? Like, they're not even people. Why would I want to co-mingle amongst them? Like, my non-severed part, the non-human, not even a person, they go off and do the innie thing. So it didn't occur to me because it didn't seem like something that Helena Egan would... I mean, for sure she would be capable of doing something like that, but I didn't think that she would yet, like, want to, like, go through with it. But in any case, we are all... Dude, the theories are flying. I wanted to give props to you guys and gals. For one, the conversation's always great. Everybody's very friendly as always. Love the support and everything. I think most people are on board with it. And I think the general hope is that it's not going to be set up as a plot twist because everybody, except for me, apparently, everybody obviously sees through the disguise. And it's like, yeah, I think either way, yes, you can see that as, oh, well, Helena Egan, it's not Helly anymore. But the other part of that, it could be the shame of her knowing who she is, because as you could see, even Irving was hesitant to fully divulge his experience because everybody kind of had a bit of a culture shock when I got back up there. I think Miss Juan goes to the same school Miss Cabell did, the Myrtle Egan School for Girls. They probably have a school to workforce training program where they force or at least encourage students to become Lumen employees. Yeah, I can see all of this. I also missed the fire extinguisher bit. I forgot that fire extinguisher is what Helly used to break the window. One of the first episodes. Timeline is very odd. Yeah, I agree. But again, the season just started, everybody. We haven't even seen the Outies yet. I think that's the whole point. Episode 1 dumps you right back into the mystery with the whole hello Miss Cabell, and now that we have the goodbye Miss Selvig that we're about to jump into, that's when we're going to get the Outies perspective, perhaps from each of them, as to what transpired. The key label in the last shot, or iteration number 25. Gemma's been refined so many times, she's on a 25th build. Oh no. The woe and frolic numbers, etc. numbers are memories, and last season, when Mark said he breezed past his first post-sever file, his freshman fluke, he was refining Gemma. Like I said, my theory, it's emotional regulation. The title deputy manager is not additional staff or Milchick adding security precautions or some cheeky joke about Miss Juan being a child. That's literally what Milchick's title was for the entirety of season 1. Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, this is my hope right here. If you guys and gals are right, and I'm gonna try to have my mind more in that mindset of, okay, well, perhaps it is, you know, little Miss Outie, then I hope it's a plot point and not a plot twist. I agree. I've seen this everywhere. I don't buy it. Maybe I'm gonna be the kooky old guy who's like, I told you all dug too deep into this whole thing. Like, it could be Helena Egan, and we might get that obvious reveal in this next episode here, which I know I've been talking for a while. I'm reviewing comments. Any salty Susans, you know, skip ahead if you want. I think it is the fact that we don't know for sure and people are like speaking in very black and white certain terms, that always kind of like gets under my skin a little bit. Like, yes, the evidence seems to slightly point towards that being the outcome, and I'm welcome to it. But for someone to be like, oh, positively, no other way, I'm like, this is Severance we're talking about here. As I always say, if you're watching this on Patreon, thank you for your extra support. Patreon.com/MovieMan101. You get to watch my reactions fully uncut, uncensored, with HD full screen video accompaniment, and it goes on Patreon earlier than it does on YouTube, which is heavily edited. What if the guy creeping on Mark from down the hall when he runs into wellness at the beginning is Grainer, but like a Miss Casey style Grainer? Because I don't think it was Milchick. That's true. It was dressed differently. We haven't met the new head of security yet. Also very true. Still not sold on milkshake, Cabell not being severed. I get that, but like, I think they are not severed personally. That's my take. Like, if you're full-time severed, how does that work outside of the facility? And I'm sure there could easily be an answer for that, but I don't know. They established in text in season 1 that the MDR crew know Milchick isn't severed when Irving melts down at Bert's goodbye party and shouts at Milchick that he isn't severed. You smug motherfucker. And gets to come and go without having to face the oblivion Innie, Bert, and Irving have to live with. I want to see MovieMan's take on that it's Helena and not Helly's theory. Look, man, I'm telling you, I would like to think I'd pick up on that sort of thing. For me, the behavior, given the situation, it still made sense. But now, with you guys and gals commenting that it's Helena Egan, I'm going to be scrutinizing it a bit more. Because they've never been known to make moves quite that obvious. I could see it. I could see a reality in which Helena Egan is now a plant on the severed floor. I completely could see that as a reality. But given what little I know about Helena Egan and how she's like,
no touchy, like you're not a person, like
she'd be like, why would I want to wade through the filth? Unless she literally is going in just to get information and try to find out more. It is the perfect cover, yeah. And then she's able to play it off just well enough. But I don't know, we'll see. I don't 100% accept it as fact yet. I have been yapping. We are here with episode 2, Goodbye Miss Selvig. Mark contemplates the meaning of a message. 2 minutes shorter than the last episode. And yes, we will be watching the intro credits for this one because it's apparently a new one for the season. Once again, if you're watching on YouTube, apologies in advance. It's a smaller screen. There's some transparency involved in what you're seeing. Again, I assume you've already watched the episode. We are going to be pausing, discussing. I'm going to try to let scenes play out, but we are here to analyze the hell out of this show, theory craft, and a lot of the pausing as well is for the YouTube. If I want to put it online, I can't really, I don't think you understand. Like, if you want to see this the way that I'm trying to show it to you, I gotta, make some cuts and alterations. You know what I mean? But if you want it uncut and uncensored, Patreon.com. So I apologize again for the audio balancing issue in the last episode. I made some tweaks, so hopefully my microphone is not peaking as much. Hopefully I am a little bit quieter, and hopefully the episode is a hell of a lot louder. But continue to leave feedback for sure. And regardless, I'm excited, dude. I'm always excited for the journey. Let's jump right back into it. Give me some more stop motion. So yeah, my theory for what this episode's gonna cover, based on the thumbnail for it and the title of it, is that we're thrown into the season, and first we have the innies, and now we get to see the outies, and I doubt we're gonna cut back down there in this episode, but I think that when this episode ends, it's gonna be as they make the decision to go back into the severed floor. That would then lead into episode 1.
Devin!
Yeah, see, here we go.
No.
She's alive.
We're not happy. We're miserable.
See, two sides of the same coin.
They torture us down there. Devin! We're prisoners! She's alive!
Damn.
Yeah, okay.
Where? Here.
Everybody's just so anticlimactic. Everybody's just like, okay.
I won't.
Mark.
Damn.
This is you now.
Was it not me?
Are you okay?
Yeah,
You sure?
yeah.
What's my name?
Persephone.
Can you spell that?
It's Mark.
Never.
We're not going to investigate what he just said. Oh my god. Can you imagine? It's oh no, that was just his innie. He was already a little bit loopy. Let's not look too much into what he's talking about. Why am I holding a picture of my wife? Are we going to ask questions? Hopefully Devin's going to fill him in. She just was just like, all right, you've been a little bit cuckoo. Bye-bye. Oh, see, she's going to be here. Look at that. She's feeling like, oh, first she tried to kill me with the noose and all this. Now that filthy innie was using my body in the real world. I'm sure Helena Egan's like, I feel violated. How could this have happened? A breach of security. Like, she has that 1,000-yard stare going on, thinking about all the things her innie's done to her. Hello, Beardsley. Are you okay? Did that filthy creature, is it still inside you, my child? We can expel the evil. How do I know it's really you in there? Look at that. This is what you created. You and your whole family line.
Fetid moppet.
Oops, sorry. Fetid moppet. I'm writing that one down. Fetid moppet. That's it?
I'll have someone from the floor liaise with the Outies.
I need to find out who they talk to. Promptly.
The way that he carries himself and that being his main prerogative, I wouldn't be surprised if whoever Paul Bunyan is over here is the new head of security. But I love that tells you about their family dynamic here is that he comes in, he probably it just thinks that maybe that was his daughter, or maybe he thinks it's still the Annie, and just to call this thing in front of him a name and run out of the room, it does seem very Egan coded. Fetid moppet. Oh, Dylan bonked on the noggin. What was the excuse? What's going to be the note in his car window? Oh yeah, turn off the blue. The gala's over. Oh, a milkshake. You already had a hilarious yet unfortunate accident by the water cooler. I can't tell you enough how much I love this show, by the way.
Find out every word they said and who they said it to.
And shall I fire them?
Let Kier guide your hand.
Of course.
Let Kier guide your hand. She seems remarkably calm right now, but I'm sure she's more embarrassed than anything. Maybe it does affect Lumen's image more than initially thought, right? But yeah, this is the scene where she goes to sit down with Cabell. Yeah, that guy's either head of security or he's also somebody important in like the Egan family and such. Oh, hello.
Please. Sit. We've commandeered the footage taken by guests. Natalie is already doing outreach to media. And the Severance employees who were involved are being dealt with.
Are they gonna give her credit for this? Technically, it was her who discovered this.
Thank you for acting so quickly. You saved us from disaster.
Yeah,
Will Mr. Egan be joining?
Kier be praised.
I personally owe you a debt of gratitude.
Again, him sitting at the far end of the table in the manner that he is, kind of being the first contact, a point of entry, tells me again that he's security, because he's like keeping an eye on things. If anything were to be an intrusion here, he's at like the best position, the vantage point to take care of it. Though if I were him, if he is head of security, you think he'd be on the other side of the table, just to also have eyes on the window, but I'm just overthinking it now.
It cost me dearly. It did. And still you proved your loyalty tonight.
Kier be praised. Kier.
Which is why we'd like to ask you back.
Oh, there you go. But in what capacity? Not MDR.
An apology is warranted.
Perhaps a firm handshake? Would that suffice?
I apologize. My father apologizes.
Does he, though?
The board apologizes.
Words are easy.
Poorly. I'm sorry.
Everybody's so corporate. So corporate.
I welcome your contrition. I'm glad.
Contrition welcomed. Oh my god.
There's much damage to control. I recommend we start by scouring the feed, and I need to interview Dylan G. to see how he gained access to that.
We have something else in mind.
Yeah, see? There's a reason we haven't seen her down there yet.
We'd like to offer you a promotion.
Oh, on the board? Where?
Severance Advisory Council.
Is that right? The council. Severance Advisory Council.
I never heard of such a thing.
It's a brand new initiative. You'd be spearheading its formation. Your expertise is greatly valued.
Not just busy work? Are they trying to get her out of the floor, perhaps?
Which is why I should be running the severed floor.
Like make a new position to get her out of the way?
Mr. Milchick has been promoted to floor manager.
That son of a... Oh, with a leather jacket. Okay, there.
You don't value me. You fear me.
You promoted this shambolic rube over me.
We fear no one.
We fear no one. Whoa, hang on. So Kier's even on the damn license plates of it's crazy. Milchick like has his motorcycle is his mode of transport. Remedium hominibus. There's no state name on the license plate, which leads me to believe this is an alternate reality version of the US, perhaps like like Gilead. I see. Latin for cure for men. Cure for men. License plate with cure for, that has the implications there. Cure for men, as if there's an alternative. The cure to what ails you. Just a face, no other identification, no county, no state. Man, even just a split second of seeing that plate.
I'll put some thought to it.
Sleep on it, won't you? Atta girl.
Mr. Drummond will see you out.
Mr. Drummond? Is that what
I
he's...
don't need an escort.
Mr. Drummond. If you give the fitted Moppet the room, please. Alright, now where's Mr. Milkshake off to? So we're just gonna be watching Helena Egan doing damage control? You see, it's interesting because even the tech they use outside of the severed floor, not really this world, not really our reality, our United States. This is an alternate reality, hence why, as you guys made sure to point out to me, the guy who probably failed geography, the number of countries their info video claims to cover, that many countries simply do not exist. So either that's a work of fiction and it doesn't matter because what do the innies know, or this is an alternate reality, which would explain, like, there are smartphones, as we've clearly seen, outside of the severed floor. Are we still using, I don't want to say archaic technology, but like it's that retro future tech you'd see in like the Alien movies or something like that. Bunch of hard plastics.
Earlier this evening, at an event where I was excited to share my status as a severed individual with a group of friends and allies, I made the poor decision to consume alcohol while on a non-lumen medication for an arm rash.
That's our cover-up story. That's the only thing she can do. Take it on the chin. It was my muck up, basically, which it will also explain, like, that's what she told her dad. Her dad is like, you screwed this up. It's a way to cover up the incident, try to work on damage control. But end of the day, it's like, oh, no, Dad, it wasn't actually a revolution. I made a oopsie boopsie, and then Dad will be upset with me, and I'll be set back in, like, social status and currency. But this way, we can at least make this a bit more, like, airtight.
This had an inebriating effect, which caused me to say some deeply regrettable things.
Very corporate response. Oh,
Apologies for the hour.
he made it back home.
All right.
How's your night been, Mr. Bailiff?
This is the first time we're seeing actual Outie Irving. Okay.
They're showing Barbara of Seville on TV, so I've just been here.
Wonderful. And you're feeling well?
Oh, God. What did I eat in there?
Oh, dude, see, this shows you that, like, he's very well aware of what oh, I can't wait till we get that inevitable Outie Irving and Bert conversation, because this literally it indicates that, like, he's covering for his innie. He's like, I've been here all night, even though he clearly woke up outside, but we know that he was researching, collecting names, locations, addresses. Like, he's like, oh, I see, my innie did something. I'm gonna go home and pretend nothing happened.
We just need to know if anything of note occurred.
But they can easily access security like if they have so much like surveillance going on, like Lumen and Egan related activity, surely they have the town tapped, right? Like parts of it, at least main city streets. Couldn't they easily pull up video footage showing his car out and about that night? And right there, Irving then would be caught. The Outie Irving would be caught in a lie. Thinking long game right here.
Tell me what's going on, Mr. Milkshake.
Mr.
In the
Milkshake.
moment, I thought I was being funny. But in the hours since this outburst, I've been reminded just how seriously my family's company affects the lives of real people around the world.
She's playing the part she has to.
You know your innie is a friend of mine. I feel confident he'd approve of me saying so. And he's a man of principle, which is rare.
Dude.
Which is what makes this so difficult.
Dude's slicker than penguin shit on an iceberg, I
You're
swear.
firing me.
When Lumen falters, it's our cherished workers and their families who suffer first. The fear and insecurity this has caused, I must sincerely atone.
You were involved in a physical
Atone.
altercation.
Dylan has a house. Those muscle shows paid off. So literally, dude, middle of the night, Milchick's going out, meeting with all the employees and being like, you fired.
It was brief but violent, and I regret to say that you were the aggressor.
Wait.
As such, I'm afraid we've no choice but to terminate your appointment effective immediately.
Jesus.
Distrust of Lumen has been sadly endemic since its founding.
But they already all underwent an irreversible procedure. So what's the severance procedure for all of that? Just, oh, the chip will be forever inside your head. Anyway, good day, sir and or madam.
My words provided more fuel for pernicious hate and derision.
Ooh, pernicious
You
hate.
can't just do that. What happened? Did I break something? I mean, I can pay. I have cash upstairs.
When I said my Annie was being tortured,
What am I supposed to tell my wife?
this was a joke and a lie.
I'm sorry.
Damn. That's messed up, man.
I'm committed to this company with every part of me.
Small detail, but I like how even the screen right here, like the feedback screen for what they're recording has like green and blue hues to it. Again, all tying into like the core colors of Lumen, and like if you want to get deep into it, like color theory.
But I'm also human.
Dude, the imagery, dude, it's all Egan all the way up. Like, for one, nice house, Dylan G. Like, lives in a cul-de-sac, but I like how the lumen drop, like, teardrop, well, water drop or what have you, but like, it's that thoughtfulness and how they design all these things. So this is just a video for the shareholders. Okay, now we get a new opening. I guess this is new. The elevator's right there. Oh, the balloon? Basement full of balloons. Investigating a grotto. Split personalities. Spooked by himself. It's like he's dreaming about this. Oh my god, little baby Marks. There's the chip in the brain. He's trying to pull the chip out of himself. Coffee mug with Irving's face on it. Oh, it's like a goat in the body? What is this? Sees like faceless man staring back at him in the reflection at work. Pajamas, but also almost like the orange of like a prison jumpsuit, right? So it's kind of indicative of, like, again, feeling like a prisoner. Jumping back into his own head, that severed part of him, but this time it's abstract and like painting as it slowly dude, what do the goats mean? As he transforms into a goat in a suit. What on earth could the goats possibly mean? I mean, that's supposed to be like a literal, like, oh, we are goats. Do they eventually get turned into goat? Like, what is it? What's that island from Pinocchio? The original, like the OG one, like turning those kids into like jackasses. It's very aquatic and blue. As work hymns are just shuffling around, and then again with the balloons are like. I mean, the welcome back balloon, sure, but like now it's like he's an airhead, balloon versions of himself. This is interesting. Yo, so it's like a frozen lake. There's like a half sunken car. I don't know if it's his car or not. Auto accident. I see snow covered woods in a forest. I see like a bunch of Outie Marks wandering around. Outie version of him is trying to like escape via balloon Outie Mark. I do love how these are portrayed though, because it definitely feels like what a dream, like what a Mark dream would look like. Being a severed person, like when you dream, like does any part of your Outie share those dreams? Because I mean, we already know that Outies kind of can feel his emotions and memories can bleed over. And it was like with Peggy K in the Lexington letter, how she remembered fake language they had. But like it came to her. She was able to remember something that her Outie knew, but that she shouldn't. Piglish or whatever it was, Piglish. This would indicate that his dreams could also be shared from Outie Marks, but we don't know how dreams work once you've been severed. Asleep at the table, a bottle of what I assume are pills, and like some laying around at the side. Again, airhead, kind of. Outie Mark kind of waking up, sleeping Outie Mark. The scrunched up faces are killing me. There's the elevator again. As Outie Mark lifts up the curtain to welcome him back. Oh, that was a cool transition. To then carry him back out of it. Like Outie Mark is rescuing Outie Mark. And now it's like, what? No, that's the goat room, right? And now it's reflected. But they're all on all fours, like in a very animalistic sense, with other airheads other ballooned heads that aren't all Mark also in the room. All being overseen by Cabell, who's now being overseen by the new Severance Advisory Council. But that room with greenery seems like the goat room. Hollow head. There's the down elevator. And that was between Miss Gemma and Helly in the elevator there. Fascinating. Is that a snow-covered baby Egan? Crawling up to his feet. Whoa. Oh, and trying to escape. Yo.
Well, that was more drama than I planned.
Agreed. The credit sequence was way more drama than I planned, too. A dream theorist could go wild with that opening.
Don't punish the baby, Rickon. This wasn't its fault.
Of course. Good night, Rebecca.
Rebecca, don't punish the baby.
So you said she's alive.
If I may,
I'm trying to help you.
if I may, I really did feel it was clear you were referencing the baby.
Oh my god.
Saved her.
There have been some theories floating around that Rickon and all of his friends are also severed because, admittedly, well, I mean, we've seen other people in town that act pretty normal, but Rickon's friend group, I mean, I attributed it to how, you know, the idea that the wealthy, the quote-unquote elite, the artistic wealthy or the well-to-do, oftentimes are a bit disconnected from typical reality. And as somebody who's worked in hospitality for most of my life now, I can agree that, like, I definitely have seen some disconnection from, like, what day-to-day life was like for your average person. One could make a case saying that all the friends are severed because they also are kind of like have this childlike naivete and all follow like Rickon's kind of almost like this cult of Rickon, basically. It's a tinfoil hat theory, but that kind of feeds into it a little bit.
No, yeah, I agree. I think Rickon is right.
Oh my god. But
Can you take her for a second?
Yep.
So let's...
we're just gonna write it off.
You're looking for Eleanor.
Occam's
You find this
razor.
picture, which obviously is of interest to you, so you pick it up.
Right.
And then when Patton found Eleanor...
Saved her, I'd still say.
Okay, whatever, yes. You still
Saved
have it with
her. Mark found him.
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I think it's the only thing that makes sense.
Okay, and Eleanor was in the study because...
Because Mrs. Selvig left her in there, or Cobell, whatever.
Right.
Perhaps Cobelvig would be a helpful nomenclature.
Assuming
Belvic.
that she's alive really was about the baby.
Well, you don't think it was?
I do think it was.
Then why are you saying
Come on, Devin.
Sorry, I'm just exhausted. This
No.
is a weird fucking nightmare.
No, because Devin's smart.
Why
Devin's
are
smart.
you getting aggressive with me right now?
Okay, guys.
Whatever.
Also, granted, Mark's not home right now, but technically Mark has not been fired yet.
Mark's work, he went to great lengths to awaken himself.
Yes.
To alert us to abuses.
Yes.
He was inspired by my book. Found great meaning in it, profundity.
Profundity.
Why are you being a dick to me? I'm trying to help you.
I'm just trying to like, get...
No, Devin knows the... Yeah, there's Milchick, and you're also let go.
Thank you.
Everybody's immediately fired.
I
Tall,
imagine you have a few questions.
tall glass of water.
Oh, you could say that.
You must be Devin.
Ooh. Cold shoulder. Are you the... Smart girl. No, see, Devin... Dude, Devin is gonna come in clutch. Devin put it together already. And it's difficult to approach the conversation and the situation with Mark, period, because it's very sensitive. It's quite a leap to make. It's already very sore, touchy subject for Mark because, yeah, it's his supposedly deceased wife. But she's like, no. You said she's alive. We already knew the baby was okay. You were holding a picture, rushing in, panic look on your face, and said this. She knows. And even right there, Lumen's here now, covers the photo just to make sure there's like one less thing to like piece together right there to make sure there's no possible way Milchick could even think, like to could even like put that together in his head, even though Milchick probably already knows, but they need to play it dumb right now.
What happened tonight is what we call the overtime contingency. It's a safeguard we employ if we ever need to access your work personage off company grounds.
Yeah, you never told me about this.
OTC disclosure can be found in your start paperwork.
Oh,
It seems the tech
he said you didn't read the terms and conditions, so oh well, I guess.
was commandeered by one of your office mates, allowing him to wake the rest of you for a period of 39 minutes.
Only 39
Mark
minutes?
Was here.
I know, I talked to him.
What did he say to you?
If I tell you, are you going to punish him for it?
We have no punishments at Lumen.
Dude, it is insane to me how almost every sentence, almost every single thing is a lie. It is crazy to me how smoothly, how easily he lies, manipulates, sweet talks, smooth talks, whatever he's got to do to get his way. Like, I can't trust anything this guy is saying. And even if he were to tell the truth, I still wouldn't trust it. But like almost everything he says is a lie. Like, and when it's not a lie, it's literally like facts that we already know, but also intermingled with an immediate lie to follow. It's like like an Oreo of a truth lie sandwich.
We're more concerned about how you're doing, Mr. Scout.
Clever.
I can only imagine how violated you feel by his
Violated.
actions.
Yeah, speaking of violations, just wondering how common it is for your managers to commit lactation fraud against their employees' families. Pretty common?
Miss Cobell.
Indeed.
What we learned tonight is that
Go,
she is
Devin.
quite severely unwell.
Yeah, she lives next door to me. I, know her.
And her behavior at Lumen seems to be the source of your innie's distress. She will never descend to that floor again.
Oh, but she's still gonna work with the company.
Bedevil you out here.
Bedevil you? That fetid moppet shall never bedevil this harmonious abode ever again. The distinction can be made, and the desecration of these hallowed grounds. The way these people speak, it tickles me pink as somebody who like grew up reading the damn dictionary.
Any further, you've my word.
But it's so corporate, isn't it? Like, you know, when someone makes an oopsie doopsie in the corporate sense, and it's like, oh, don't worry, they don't work there. No, we gave them like the paid leave, and they're gonna come back to the company in a different capacity. You won't deal with them, but there's no real punishment. You fire her from the severed floor, give her this brand new position that never existed before, and paint it to her via, you know, Helena Egan as this great promotion, and then otherwise she's out of everybody else's hair on the severed floor. Crazy, man.
But we do need to know what we're dealing with.
Of course.
Anything you can tell me.
Or that you want to tell him?
We're very tired.
Yes, we are.
Said all there is to say.
Keeping it tight-lipped. That's good. He's like, Mark,
Of course.
Mark S. The exact same on the inside as you are on the outside. How ironic.
I'll circle back.
I'll circle back.
In the meantime,
Conversation's
I'll
not
see you
over.
Monday.
He's not fired.
What your innie did tonight was completely unauthorized. It was also very brave. I'd hate to reward his courage with non-existence.
Mark S. is so important for Lumen. Integral to what they're trying to do in there. The fact that their gut reaction is like, we can cut off Irving, we can cut off Dylan, but we can't get rid of Mark. We need Mark S in there. And my immediate gut reaction to that is because they need him to refine Gemma. My tinfoil hat theory is like the Lumen severed floor is all busy work as a disguise for human trials to be able to bring the chip, like refine the chip and be able to put it on a more accessible, borderline over-the-counter market for the rest of the world. The easy answer would have been to fire them all. Mark is the one they need. And that's why when he first returns, you know, all of his friends are already gone because they've been fired. But then something happens where the friends, I guess, are brought back. Any Mark, I think, has way more power in the situation, incidentally, than any of us realize. And then to guilt him at the end there, what your Innie did was brave. Fascinating. Now back in Irving's apartment, we get out. Oh, with radar. Love is the sound of radar. Ooh, we get Outie Irving. There we go. So when he woke up, did they have an immediate conversation with Bert, or is he going to go back to Bert and talk? Did Bert never even open the door? Milchek, Midnight Rider. Cue the music from Drive right now. See? They have everything under video surveillance. Helena Egan is now gathering intel, and specifically, at that moment at least, on Mark. The more that I sit with this before we even get to any potential reveal, the more that I can buy that it is in fact Helena Egan, right? That we're setting this up. Because if she's willing to, you know, take it on the chin and make the public apology on behalf of her father, her family, and the company, and take the blame, then she will do whatever she can to rectify the situation the Egan way. Kier, chosen one, Kier. Selvig's home. He's gonna corner her, though. I mean, we know that from the trailer. We know that much. He's gonna corner her and be like, what is going on? I'm just curious as to see what Selvig would say.
Maybe it's each other.
See, she's reviewing the video.
That'd be a hoot.
She'll see there's romance.
Made argument over car wash coupon.
Honey, you're cutting them wrong.
She's amused by this.
In case we don't come back. In case we do.
Was she moved by that or just surprised? She's alone. These are entirely genuine reactions here. She's thinking. Take a breath. I'm trying to read this reaction here.
In case we don't come back. In case we do.
Interesting. It wasn't discussed. It wasn't like anything with animosity or hatred, unless that was like a further layer of emotion to peel away, using the wonderful Shrekonian metaphor of the onion, if you will. My gut reaction was that she was emotionally affected by that, in a sense where she was like, like it almost in a, dare I say, enticed. I want to say moved, but it could just be just surprise, like genuine surprise. But she's staying here late. Mr. What is his name? Drummond? I don't know if he's security or not, but he's gone, or maybe he's outside the room. But yeah, Milchick's back to report in. And again, if she then decides to go down to the severed floor to be the mole, so she's aware of this, yeah, and she could use that to her advantage if she's trying to like manipulate Outie Mark. Does he still have the burner phone? Is Ragabi still in the wind? Last night was weird. Can I buy you some diner food? Oh, of course. I know just the place.
Oh, well, a young man
over at Pips.
And a young man.
I do love that we're finally getting to see Dylan and Irving's, like their respective Audie's lives. Well, obviously also Helly, right? Because we're seeing Helena Egan, not only world building for the town of Kier and what that looks like for the whole world, but also their lives individually. Great doors. Is he going to apply for a job?
May I ask about benefits?
There's a coffee maker.
I meant healthcare benefits.
Oh, sure, yes, of course, for you, your family.
Okay. I think this is going to be a really great fit for me, Mr. Saliba. Ever since I was a kid, I've always felt like doors...
How old?
Sorry?
How old were you when you knew you loved doors?
Are you about the door life? This is a serious matter of business. Doors and buying and selling and the making of doors. You must be passionate.
If you could be any kind of door, what would it be?
Barn, French, like we were talking about here.
Pocket.
A pocket door?
Tell me more.
You know, doing your door thing, and then when you're not needed, you can just
tuck yourself away. Can I finish your eggshell?
Eggshell?
Semi-gloss.
Oh, you passed the test.
You remind me of me, Dylan. You like kickball?
I just love how, oh my God, as someone, again, working in hospitality and having worked in offices and all that, I love it. What are the benefits? We got a coffee maker. And you know what?
We have our biannual pizza party as well.
We play on Fridays. There's a fun prize if you win.
You mean a door prize?
Oh no. Oh no. No. Doors are sacred here, Dylan.
And then Lumen.
Yes.
And they make their doors in-house. It's f***ing hubris.
I'm sorry, but they make their doors in-house. It's hubris. I love the dialogue.
So.
You're a Severed.
Yes. Yeah, I was. But, you know, it's just me here, and I'm...
Well, Mr. George, thanks for coming in.
Yikes.
We'll consider your application thoroughly.
Sure you will.
That's it? Just because I'm severed?
Like I said, we'll consider your application thoroughly.
You're not considering me at all. That's discrimination.
We need a certain kind of person here, Mr. George, not a certain kind of two people. I mean, what do you think this is, a carpet factory? What? You want to circumcise your brain, that's your business. But it doesn't mean I have to hire you. And personally, I think it's abhorrent.
That is discrimination. Interesting. If it's so abhorrent and disgusting, then why did you take up residence in Kier PE? Kier and the Egan's and the whole lineage and family and all that, they own and run everything about Lumen. And maybe it's like not Lumen you take issue with, but like if it's Severance you take issue with, they're literally a big part of Lumen. So then Mr. Holier Than Thou, they build their own doors in house. You don't like the company and all this. Why are you here? Surely the whole U.S. is not all like here all the way. Grounds for a lawsuit right there. If you want to circumcise your brain. Man, they really are looked down upon.
Read the room. I would have picked up the phone if it was good news.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's his wife?
Get the next one.
Stop being nice.
No.
I'll be home soon.
Okay, bye, hon.
Well, she sounds sweet, patient, and understanding. This whole world feels so dystopian, by the way, or at least moments like that. Now, the punk rock show, not so much. You know, the protesters in the streets. Like, we've seen only a few people in public in those circumstances, and it seemed fine, unless that guy's just a weirdo. But, like, that just seemed kind of dystopian. I don't know.
And what about Selbig? Have you heard from her?
We had Pips.
I went by there. No one answered the door, though.
Selbig.
I was just thinking maybe there was a way we could confirm what your any meant.
Oh.
Devin, Jesus Christ. Are you serious?
I know we're not supposed to contact him, but Denise is a lawyer, and apparently you can petition.
I'm quitting.
He's like, this is too weird for me.
Okay.
First PD, now this.
Have you called them already?
No, I was gonna do it tonight. Haven't you been trying to get me to quit that place since I got there? I thought I was finally doing what you want.
Yeah, but now this Devin
yes,
thing
but
happened.
Don't you think that was strange last night?
You could do some good.
I mean, like, why was he so curious?
Devin, what are
She is so smart.
You
I love
remember
her.
I identified her, right?
Yes, Mark.
I saw her body.
Yeah, I know. If we could just get like a half step more confirmation, then it's not going to be something that continues.
I can make a note about that. Confirmed body. So is it the OG body? Is it a clone?
To haunt us, you know what I mean?
They saved her consciousness?
She was my family too, Mark.
Yeah, but she was my wife.
I know.
My
but
wife.
You're not the only one her death affected.
Oh, really? It affected you?
Yes.
What?
Did you have to tell her parents that she was dead? How about her students? How about this? Did your sheets smell like her for weeks afterwards? You know what? Honestly, if Rickon died and his body burned, I'd be sad for you, but I wouldn't be affected. This is obscene.
I just want to be sure.
I am sure.
Again, it's a touchy subject. He's understandably upset. There's a lot to process right now. Yep, of course it's Pips. But someone tells me that whatever Selvig Frolic, who has the tattoo of Frolic? Oh my god, they're listening in. Oh, this son of a bitch. Oh, they know. Oh, Devin, you're in danger. You're in danger. And Frolic is one of the, oh, what is it? It's one of the, was it one of the tenements? The 9 tenements are vision, verve, wit, cheer, humility, benevolence, nimbleness, probity, and wiles. Didn't he recently bring up Frolic? Don't like drumming. But he is giving Grainer vibes. Leonora Lick. I think I already wrote this down. I want to know when Irving's going to go back to talk to Bert. Mysterious phone call late at night. Because, I mean, he was clearly digging into all of it before he even started working there.
Okay, you're not picking up, I get it. I want you to know I'm the exact message.
Not a fan. What, he didn't see you pull up? Irving, be careful. Bert! Yo, Bert's following him. Dude. We don't know. Like, surely after all that pounding, Bert would have opened the door. Unless he just didn't out of fear. It's gonna be Milchek. We know they're due for... Oh my god, the pineapple fruit basket. We know they're due for a conversation, because we saw in the trailer that they were sitting down in, like, Mark's place.
Compliments of the company.
They really
We got
want
off on the
him
wrong foot last night.
to stay on.
Okay to talk a minute?
So intriguing. So intriguing.
So, Mr.
The
Scout, I know
leather.
you're still weighing whether to return to Lumen.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask you a few questions that may inform your decision. Is that all right?
Would you like to see your wife again? Like,
First, how happy are you with your current financial compensation?
dude.
I ask because our endearment to you is such that a 20% bump is on the table.
20%? God damn. Assuming that already why they joined is because the benefits are killer and because the pay is amazing because you have to go undergo this medical procedure and all that. An additional 20% bump that's something. They need Mark for something. They want him in there.
20%. Wow.
My second question is whether a full investigation into your Innie's claims and regular wellness checks from independent orbs would help you feel more excited to return.
Well, I don't know. Is that what they're doing?
It's the first step of many. My third question concerns your late wife, Gemma.
I swear to God, if
In your intake interview, you cited her death as a primary motivator for severing. Do you remember what you said?
No.
You said since she died, every day feels like a year. That you felt like you were choking on her ghost. Do you still feel that way, Mr. Scout? The Mark I've come to know at Lumen is happy. He cares for people. And he's funny. He knows nothing of the pain I see in you right now.
He even called me a shambolic rube. Quite humorous, quite humorous. They refer to me as Milkshake now.
He's found love.
Affectionately. Oh.
Love? With who?
The solace you have given him down there will make its way to you.
Oh,
It just takes time.
You bastard. You bastard.
I hope you'll give us that time, Mr. Scout.
Everything he says, the manipulation, the deception. There he is.
There he is!
How conniving, how manipulative. Lie about the conditions of his Innie's workplace, how he's feeling on all that. Sprinkle in some little half-truths and such. Try to, like, sweeten and then segue that into, well, the happiness, or lack thereof. If you keep working for us and just accept what we're saying at face value, you'll eventually feel better. Like, I can't believe I'm doing this, but here I am. Dude, all the cars... This is why I was having such a hard time distinguishing the time period, is because, again, maybe it's a dystopian reality. It's got to be modern day. The tech they have, including smartphones and such, but, like, all the cars they drive are all these boxy sedans. And again, like, do you want to talk about color theory? I'm seeing blue, I'm seeing green, but they're all, like, these boxy sedans that you would see in, like, the freaking, like the... What would be the main time for that? Like, what, the 80s, 90s? It's just, that's why it threw me off so much. What the tech that Lumen uses in conjunction with, like, the vehicles that are being driven. Yeah, even Helena's keeping an eye out on him.
Are you satisfied with this?
His sister seems more uppity than he is.
This is true.
Who are you bringing into MDR?
Uppity.
I've got a floater from overseas and a pair who were laid off from 5X. I had 48 hours to pull this together. Hopefully there will be some chemistry.
So literally he chose them as replacements for the old team, hoping that any Mark would That's so like emotionally misguided.
We don't need chemistry.
Oh?
We need Mark S. back to work.
Go on ahead.
But why?
To complete Cold Harbor.
See you tonight.
We need Mark S. back at work long enough to complete Cold Harbor. Cold Harbor, we know, is tied to Gemma. It's something only he can do, and they need that file finished.
Good night, Mr. Scout.
Good night, Judd.
We're getting caught up. Is that new security, too? It makes sense that the old security officer was fired.
Mr. Scout?
Good night, Judd.
9:15. Right, that was when he was...
Hello, is anyone there? Is the board on? It's Mark S. from Macrodata Refinement. Okay, well, if you're there, please listen. Now, I know that you want to do the right thing for severed people, which is why if we truly are the face of severance reform, as you say, then they deserve a chance. Mark, please, they're my friends. You can't just make them disappear.
I'm sure Drummond will have
Of
something
course, I bear full responsibility.
sassy to say.
The board's going to give him what he wants, including Heliar. He won't finish without them.
Time to find out who's right, huh? Well, we'll see. Oh man, I got a sinking feeling that I'm in the wrong and that it is in fact Helena Egan, which would make sense. Oh my god. Please accept this apology fruit basket. Well, of course they're gonna take him back. I love how it's the same fruit basket. It's as simple as that. Board desperately needs Mark S to finish the Cold Harbor file, which is the only reason they're going to cave into the demands. Who is the board? Is it one person? Is it a singular entity? Is it multiple? Mark does get away with a lot down there in terms of like the revolt and revolution and all that. In a kind of sort of way, this perhaps until Cold Harbor is finished, any Mark kind of has plot armor.
Fucking lease in Grand Rapids. Touch me. Give me another reason to sue. You Lumen!
Damn. They were I broke a lease in Grand Rapids. He was straight up just fired. Red herrings again for the season. All of them were just let go just like that. Dude, Mark S has plot armor right now. At least until Cold Harbor is finished. And then immediately, barely even staggered, right? I'm waiting for the Helena reveal here. We're about to have the theory confirmed or denied, I think, unless they don't show it, which would be diabolical. The music comes down. We're all keeping a very close eye on you, ma'am. Does she, like, put on something that, like, blocks the signal? Does she just... Interesting. We have no confirmation just yet. As far as we can tell right now, they all went down the same elevator through the same severance procedure again. Now, that doesn't rule out the possibility that somehow a switch is flipped or held or an alteration is made that could allow it. So Helena Egan is the one we see downstairs right now, which would explain, you know, why she is acting a little bit off, perhaps. Again, I could be proven wrong very easily, but perhaps the reason I haven't picked up on anything yet is because everybody's reading too much into it. And again, I could be wrong. But I think her acting the way that she was acting still tracks with her character if it is still any Helly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I admit I'm not entirely ruling it out of the realm of possibilities, but I think what we're going to end this on right now is a conversation right here between Mark and Cabell.
Hello, Mark. Just back from work.
Where do you think you're going?
What do you care?
What do I... Who are you?
I thought you were quitting.
I trusted you. I told you what I'd gone through these past 2 years. You were in my house.
They convinced you to stay. Was a pineapple involved?
Of course.
You're so easy to sway.
What? So that's it? You're leaving?
Yeah, throw yourself in front of her car. Yeah, I'm about to say.
Why did you do this? What the is this all about?
Just hits him. You can ask the real question.
Do you know something about Gemma?
Well, I got to her a little bit. The rage, I swear, I can't with her little hissy fits. There's an emotional connection there. There's a hot little moment for her. I wouldn't have moved. I don't know about that. You're like, yeah, just not unsevered, huh? She's the exact same as she is on the outside as she's on the inside. We serve Kia. She didn't say anything, but obviously her, like, she didn't need to right there. Like, exhaustion, perhaps even sadness, maybe melancholy, and then just came out in a burst of rage.
There's a pretty big fallout from the overtime contingency, especially with regard to the Outie characters. Lumen has to figure out what information has leaked.
Now this is actually behind the scenes.
His wife. You know, did any of them reveal to anybody what they do every day?
For Outie Mark, season 2 is really about, okay, now you know that this company has been deceiving you. What are you going to do about it?
At the beginning of the season, we see that Cobella's been fired and Milchick has taken over her role as floor manager. He's in charge now.
When he gets the promotion, he's placed in these precarious situations where he has to deal with the Outies and do damage control.
So it seems like the promotion Cobell was given, fired from MDR, and assuming that she was packing her bags there and then like heading out, it seems like they're relocating her. So she's going to be moving either within the town or somewhere else, because obviously they can't have her living anywhere near Mark.
Milchick is not severed, but he has to play a different character. Because on the inside, he's very much in control, while on the outside world, there is a customer care role.
The customer care.
It's a very, very different dynamic, and it's a very different Milchick than what we've seen before.
You're answering to more people, and you have more pressure. And there's more responsibility.
Indeed.
I think everyone, to different degrees, struggles with being seen and appreciated. And I think that Harmony, rightfully so, does feel like she has really contributed to this.
Oh, yeah.
She was actually the one who did the most to stop what happened. But if she were to be cast out from this system that she has been a part of since she was a child, once that's gone, where does she go?
Cobell is a genius, which is part of why she's so dangerous.
For Britt, it was really exciting for her to explore Helena, and I think what she did was really, really special, and that there was just such a different character there. And the way she expanded on Helly really creates such an interesting contrast.
Britt has really embraced that physicality between the two characters. Helly is quite aggressive. Ow! While with Helena, she's in a position of power where things come to her, so there's much more of a calmness about her.
Yeah, she has to behave, kind
Helena
of.
is someone who has to wear a mask in front of people, whereas Helly is just, there's no mask, there's no filter.
And I do love how we're exploring those dynamics. It's almost as if the any versions of the characters that are in there are like kind of your true unfiltered natures. So because we already have notated the similarities between innies and outies, and of course when they're out, they're more reserved and having to do their due diligence, perform their certain roles, and behave the way they need to in society in general, sure. But like that is true, is that we do see a side of them. It's almost more like free flow, like cracking wise, much more rebellious. Again, that kind of comes with the sort of naivete that is born from being severed in this like mental capacity. But I like that, like, yeah, in a way, Helly, like the any version of Helena Egan, is in a way kind of the free spirit that she has to keep a lid on in order to maintain appearances in public and to maintain her corporate image.
And there's very little care for what people think.
And again, that would also feed into her reaction right there, because I was fascinated, great choice by the actor, fascinated by her reaction there, almost as if like her innie cracks a joke and she chuckles at it, almost like she's pleasantly surprised to see I'm funny. Like my innie's funny, like cracking jokes. I don't know if she has any significant others in her life in this Outie world. She probably has to keep emotional ties like that kind of out of the picture and in check and fall in line with what her dad and the family and the company set forward for her. A facet to all of this, it kind of is like she's almost enjoying her innie self vicariously, like enjoy all these things equally. Your innie is funny. Your innie is cunning, resourceful, rebellious, and is in love. And she's like, I don't have that love and connection. Which, to be fair to the ones that are saying it is Helena Egan down there, it could lend credence to why she'd want to go down there, to maybe experience those emotions, to go down there and be able to try to live that way without being severed. So that's also like an argument to be made there, which is like whether she's doing it for a corporate gain or personal gain, she could be trying to just to like live that life freely. And maybe she does do something that is off the books and lets her be down there. If it is Helena down there, the obvious answer is she's being a mole, but the less obvious answer, the more emotionally driven one, is that she is intrigued by this, perhaps even envious to a degree. She wants to feel that, ergo, she would then she wants to go down there and, like, you know, feel those emotions. Until I see confirmation that she's managed to find a way to get around the severance, like the elevator procedure, I'm going to be the contrarian here. I'm going to say it's still Helena down there. I'm not 100% sold. I admit there's validity in the facts being presented to me, the opinions being brought forth, and the theories. And I have my fair share of tinfoil hat theories as well. So I'm not going to write it completely out of the realm of possibility, but I am not 100% on board yet. But if that's the case, if this is the case, and it is Helena, I will say this. My theory would be it is less to be a mole and more to feel liberated and to feel these things that she probably does not have access to in her real life.
Helena has a very sheltered existence, so I think the experience of seeing another version of herself that is so much more free than she is intriguing, inspiring, and provocative.
I told you. That's what I said. This actor is amazing at what she was doing in this scene right here. But what she's been saying, what she recorded on the message, what she presents when she's around people that work for the company is she says they're different from us. They're disgusting. She is regurgitating the same diatribe that has been drilled into her by Lumen and her father and the company for her entire life, right? Behind a closed door, in an empty room with nobody to watch her, her genuine reaction right there was not disgust. It was not repulsion. It was not anger. It was curiosity. She was interested. She was like entranced by this. She had an emotional reaction that was like, oh my. Like,
I think it's a very complicated moment for her because
Indeed.
She sees Innies as subhuman, yet Helly is appreciated and respected and loved in a way that Helena never has.
Indeed.
And realizing that this character that you saw as like a servant might actually be living a richer life than you, I think that really affects her. We still don't know what Lumen actually does. What was it that Keir Egan told his children so many years ago? This is what we have to do. This is our purpose in life. And that his progeny have been working ever since then to make it happen. Like, we still don't know the seed of that mystery.
But that could have multiple meanings to it. The board's going to give him what he wants, including Helly R. The phrasing there tells me it's still Helly. Because why would a guy working for Lumen, presenting the facts of the case to Milchek, who runs the severed, like right there, I'm telling you, I think it's still Helly. I would say, what reason would there be to keep Milchek in the dark on that, right? Because Milchek now runs the severed floor. That would be pertinent to know so he could act and behave accordingly. Yet it would also make sense if they keep Milchek out of the loop, if she is meant to be a mole. And it would also make sense if she figures out a way herself to circumvent the severance procedure and go down there as Helena Egan. And yeah, the more you dig into it, the more, oh, well, she was acting weird. Oh, she said it like this. Or why did she ask this question? I am not 100% sold. I'm going to remain the contrarian because I can't with 100% certainty say that's the case. And also, it's fun. The biggest, I think, revelation of this entire episode, for me at least, is that I did not realize how badly that the board, that Lumen, and the Egans currently need Mark S. specifically to finish the Cold Harbor file. And I'm sure as soon as he finishes the Cold Harbor file, they'll just as easily yank it all away. The show is like so layered and there's so much to pick apart in the performances, the nuance they're in, and the dialogue. They're slowly building out more of the world and such. I'm so bought into this show and to see more of the season. Thank you as always so much for your love and support. I'm glad to see that there's still the viewership there and people that are engaging in this and wanting to see it. If you're on Patreon, thank you for that additional support. You get access to this episode reaction and analysis early. Full, uncut, uncensored, HD video accompaniment, yada, yada, yada. That's all I got to say. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Let me know below. Tell me if you think I'm right. Feel free to on me if you think I'm wrong. I'd love to hear your theories. I'd love for you to argue mine. Feel free to offer any other corrections. If there's any other lore tidbits that I'm missing out on. I love everybody that likes to do deep dives like me, really dig into this. And then we really try to figure out this show and try to, beat the writers to the punch. So thank you. Have a good day. Have a good night. Remember to enjoy all these episodes equally. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, travelers.